In this episode, we sit down with Louise Hawkins, adaptive athlete and online coach. We talk about how Louise found herself again through her fitness journey and how she's inspired hundreds of thousands of people also with the disability to not let that define them. As she famously says, your disability does not determine your ability. This episode is not to be missed. I hope you enjoy it. So Lou, fellow Barnsley person.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me today. You've got quite a following on Instagram. You know, I've seen some very inspirational things that you've been doing. You're inspiring so many people through your social following and through people in everyday life.
I'm trying.
Talk me through the beginning part of the journey. Where did this all start for you?
So, sports and fitness started for me when I had recurrent miscarriage before I had both girls, and my mental health just was shocking. So I become really anxious. I had health anxiety, as I now know. I didn't know I had anxiety then because I didn't know it was a thing. Yeah. It just weren't a thing back then. And something just had to give because I weren't living. I was scared of life. And I just shut myself away really for a few years. And it was apparent that I needed to add something else into my life to try and change it. So
when was this? How old were you at this point when this happened?
So this will have been 2016. Yeah, so Lilia would have been 4. And I started at a kettlebells class in community, which were great. And it's just exactly what I needed at that time. But I quickly become where I wanted more. Yeah. So I started with a personal trainer, and then I went to CrossFit. And then that's when I really started enjoying sport and fitness. Because I loved sport and fitness at school. I had a sports tie, as you know. But I'd lost it, went to uni, did all that, found drink. So I lost my way in terms of sport, but as soon as I went back to CrossFit, I found that love again for sport.
How long was it then from going to university, finding drink as most people do, going out all the time, to what was that period of that length of time from going to university, finding the drink until you found the love for fitness like you have?
Oh gosh, it would be quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. How old have I been? 18 when I went to college, and then I've been 34.
So it's
significant amount of time.
So in that period then, had you ever gone to the gym or done anything sort of fitness-wise or anything like that?
I did, odd time I did Davina McCall DVD, but no.
No. I find that fascinating that you've gone from that period of time of not really having any, sense of fitness or ability or anything like that to all of a sudden just going.
Yeah, no, none at all. In fact, when I first started at CrossFit, I'd never picked a barbell up before. I'd never done anything like that. So it were all new and quite alien. Like I said, I'd used kettlebells. And CrossFit weren't massive then like it is now. So I remember when I were trying to adapt certain exercises and certain movements, there was just one adaptive athlete in America that I used to watch to see how he changed things and adapt things so that he could do similar to others. So it was, now when adaptives are coming in, it's great because there's a big awareness and there's the adaptions almost there. Everybody's disability is different. So one adaptation would not necessarily work for another. You've got to find your own way in that sense. So it will always be a more difficult path. But yeah, I spent quite a while, maybe 12, 18 months, just figuring out how to best pick a barbell up. So initially, I did it one-handed lifting, but I found that really hurt my forearm.
Right.
Just used to blow it out, onto that term really.
Yeah.
So it had a limit amount of times that I could lift. So then I went on to, I think somebody brought me a seat belt from their yard, and I had a seat belt round bar to lift it. But then I ended up black here with bruising. So then somebody made me a cushioned leather contraption to
Right.
go over at barbell. There's some gorgeous people in CrossFit.
Yeah.
So that padding stopped that. But then the seatbelt material grew. So then it just were a nightmare. But then I think it was Lee that brought me.
So Lee, your partner?
Yeah, Lee's my husband, yeah. Brought me a strap home that pulls things that are a ton.
Right.
So it didn't grow. So that's when I really started being able to lift better.
How's your relationship with your partner improved or changed since your love for fitness is?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been together a long time. So we've been together, I'll be careful now, since 2000. So 24 years. And I think your relationship just does naturally change anyway, from not having children, having a house, having children. It does change, but because I've changed, I've become more chilled out, I suppose, because I've found something for me.
Yeah.
But Lee's an absolute diamond. I won't be where I am if it weren't for Lee. I just won't be.
Yeah. I think it's amazing that, like you've just said, he came home with this, the contraption that you said, but to help you, start on this journey that you were so passionate about.
It was him that encouraged me
Yeah.
to go, because he could see that I needed something. So when girls were little, he worked away. But there's lots of things that I struggled with my disability in terms of looking after kids, like bathing them when they were tots and stuff. So his mum used to come and help me bath them, or like I broke all my teeth at bottom trying to open cans and things like that because I just couldn't do it. It's just daft stuff that you wouldn't ever think.
You wouldn't think of unless you were in that position, would you?
No.
And I think that goes back to the quote that I read on one of your recent posts, that your disability doesn't determine your ability.
No such word as can't. That's how I've been brought up.
Yeah.
No such word as can't.
Is that right? Have I said that right?
Yeah.
Your disability doesn't determine your ability.
Well, no, because I think we have his own little windows, don't we, in his mind, where your capabilities end. I remember being in Gran Canaria well before kids, me and Lee had not been together long. I remember seeing a lady, a dancer, and she had a absolutely stunning figure. But I'd already convinced myself that I could never have a figure like that. And it was just because, well, I was born Rodney, because I weren't going to do what needed to be done in order to get her figure. So I was really shortening my capabilities, really, before I'd even had a go. And I think that's the same way having a disability. It would be very easy for me to say, yeah, I can't lift, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, but it's only me that's suffering from that. I mean, there's certain things that I can't do. Just can't. I can't put my jewellery on. There's lots of I can't think off the top of my head things I can't do, but I'll just ask for help.
But you've gotten rid of that limitation that so many people would have had by doing what you've done. Reverse back to 2015. If you look now at where you're at in 2014, would you have ever believed that you'd get to the point where you're at now?
No. Absolutely not, no. I know I said it to you earlier, but I do feel like I'm living somebody else's life.
Do you feel like that's a bit of imposter syndrome?
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also I just can't understand how I can, not that I can't understand because I don't understand it, because I've made sure I've understood myself. It's just such a big shift from where I was, this quite anxious, and I'm not going to say shy, because I weren't shy, but I weren't confident, to now, and just how I feel in my mind. I'm a completely different person. I talk about her as though she's someone else. So for me, I protect my mindset like it's royalty.
Yeah.
Because I can't, and I won't go back there. I can't.
I think that's why this podcast is so important, because I'm speaking to obviously amazing, inspirational people like yourself about their mindset. And I think your journey is so, it's brilliant in the fact that you had that period of, you know, from 18 to when was it, 35?
34,
35, where you've gone through life and you've been doing what you've been doing, and then all of a sudden, you know, something traumatic's happened in your life, which is very unfortunate. But you've used that as fuel to the fire to say to yourself, look, like, this has happened, you know, I'm not going to let that be the limitation of my life. And then you've used it to...
Yeah. I vividly remember the day. I remember what I was wearing and where I was sat, and I'd got to a point, mentally, it consumed me, and I was rocking. You know, I was poorly with it. And I remember sat there thinking, if I died now, what? No, I've done nothing that anybody's going to be remembering me by. And I know that sounds really morbid, but it brought me to it. We're almost like me slap round face. Because I thought, well, what's going to go on my stone? I ain't done out. I've done nothing. And I started reading Aunt Middleton, The Fear Bubble.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, it's a good book, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
And there were a paragraph in there, and you'll know if you've read it, and it explained that you're on a corridor. And you're at top of corridor, and down corridor there's lots of doors. And you've either got to be happy where you're at, stood at top of corridor, or you open doors, and behind that it's going to be scary. There's a lot of fear, but that's where growth lies. So I probably said that in a, not the exact way, but it's how I interpreted it. And I just thought, I can't stay at top. I can't. And I was scared to death. Everything I've done since I made the decision to sort myself out, I've been scared to death to do. Even when my mental health had got to a point where I was waking up and I was having panic attacks every single morning, they were just crippling. But I was so scared to go on meds because of perception. And when I even finally went on meds, because they were like, you've got to go to the doctors, I kept coming off them because I felt...
Did you find that they helped?
Oh, massively. When I sorted myself out and stayed on them.
Yeah.
But I was on and off them, which is much worse, isn't it?
What point of your journey was this? Was this before you had got into your fitness?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're only on very low dose, but I couldn't carry on because I didn't see it. Sounds really morbid, but I didn't get it. I didn't see a point in life. I was just like, I'm scared. I was scared to go out. I was scared to stay in. I was searching for reassurance all the time. I was ashamed of myself. I was just existing. But I had everything that I had ever wanted. So I got my girls, a lovely husband, lovely home, got a job. But I couldn't understand why my mind was so full. It was just noise, constant noise.
Do you think that fitness has changed your perception on gratitude?
Yeah. Yeah, because for me, I just think that I'm not great with excuses. You know, other people's shit excuses. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
You know, don't come to me with a shit excuse. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But, you know, we get to do this. Yeah, I know I'm not being blessed with all my limbs and what have you, but I still get to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will kill to do it. So, and it's the people that you meet as well on your journey through fitness. And I've been lucky enough to, become a coach and coach some gorgeous people that have needed my help and support. And I've got friends that I'll always have for life, and that's all through fitness. So when people say, what are you doing? I do that all the time. What's the point? It's brought me new life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I love that. I absolutely love that. It's fitness is, as we spoke about previously, is one of the biggest pillars of my life. Yeah. And I've noticed, especially recently, in the last week or so, and it's just how life happens. You know, I've just been to Ibiza to book the wedding with my partner, and then we've been to Scarborough for her mum's birthday, and I've been to the gym once in the last week.
Yeah, that'll hurt when.
Yeah, and I feel good today because I went yesterday morning.
Yeah.
But I felt tired yesterday morning because I had not the best night's sleep the night before, and I woke up at 6 and I was like, I'm knackered, but I've got to go.
Yeah.
You've got to go. You've got to do it.
For me, I think it's like getting in the shower.
Is it cold or warm?
Warm. I'm Nesh.
You're not getting any cold showers?
No. I'm going to be a fair weather dipper. That's what I'm going to be. I know I am, because if I'm cold, I'm not getting into something cold. You never know, that might change. But, I see, and I only realise that when we go on holiday, like Lee'll laugh at me, day 4, I'm like, yeah, come on, I'm done. I'm ready for home.
Yeah.
And I realise it's because I'm not going to gym.
Yeah.
I'm not training when I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
So now I train when I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm not done. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready to stay.
Yeah, no, I resonate with you so well on that one. Me and Nick, my partner, went to Mexico last year, and she said, no work. She went, you're not working on this holiday. I says, all right, fine, can I go to the gym then?
Yeah.
She went, yeah, go on then.
Yeah. I even did it on some balcony workouts.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be long, 10, 20 minutes, it just ticks the box.
Yeah.
But if I said to somebody on holiday, you're not getting a shower, they'd be like, eh? Not be able to do it, would they?
Yeah, it's a staple part of your routine, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Feel weird.
What does your routine look like then? Your morning routine, obviously having two kids at 12 and 14. I guess it's, your morning routine would be a lot different to mine, getting the kids ready.
Not necessarily anymore. I mean, the girls are gold.
Yeah.
They set their own alarms, get themselves ready, their own breakfast.
Yeah.
And Lee is the chef in our house, so
Right.
he does oatmeal prep. He does.
Is he into his fitness as well?
He likes to run. He does dipping, so he goes Sheffield Dippers
All right.
on Saturday morning. And sometimes I make him do stuff, but it's not bothered. But no, girls really now sort themselves out. So for myself, I tend to coach early morning.
Yeah. I guess for your journey, you said it was 2016 when this fitness journey started for you. So you would have had...
2016.
So I'm just trying to work my maths out now. How old would your kids be in 2016?
Yeah, 4 and 6.
So, I'm just going off the limitations that people put on themselves. A lot of people in your position with 2 kids at a very young age could have said, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah.
Especially in the morning, I ain't got time for this, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it was really hard because both me and Lee have always worked and we've always used as childcare for work. So, but we just made it work because Lee recognised that I needed it. So, like I said, he is just gold, Lee, I couldn't do life without him, I just couldn't.
He sounds like an amazing guy.
He is.
Shout out to Lee.
Yeah. But people that know him know that.
Yeah.
And all my ladies that come to garage and stuff as well, they know that he's there bringing me cuppa. And same with girls as well. They'll bring me a cuppa, and I like a calm house. But yeah, we just had to make it work because I was a better person for it. And I stopped. Again, it'll sound ridiculous, but at that time I stopped watching soaps because I realised that it were bringing me so much negativity. Because I get that they go over things that are important in life, but because I had health anxiety, if I saw something on a soap that were like, I don't know, cancer related or miscarriage related or anything like that, I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about that, and then my thoughts would become irrational, and then ruminate, and then I'd need to seek that constant reassurance, and then I'd be at doctors, and that's how it was. Like now I'm not ashamed to say that out loud because I know that a lot of people suffer from that, but at the time I was very ashamed. So seeking constant reassurance when you don't want people to know that you're ill, it's not great. So I stopped watching soaps. So I didn't have that. I know a lot of people that do watch soaps, they have that block of time, don't they, that they call their time, where I use gym as my time.
I think it's great that you've got the self-awareness to realise that. Because for me, I think that growth and self-improvement comes from accountability, but for accountability, you need to have self-awareness.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of people lack self-awareness in life, so therefore they don't then have the accountability to say, I'm not doing that right, or I could be better, or I need to do something else.
Do you think that's because if you become self-aware, it becomes hard.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think it's only, probably in the last, since my brother died.
Yeah.
And my best friend said this. My best friend, Lloyd, was my brother's best friend. And he said, since your brother died, you're a completely different person.
That's what people say to me.
Yeah.
They often say, you're completely different. But I needed to be.
And it's self-awareness, isn't it?
Yeah.
You had that fire inside, you had that switch, that trigger that was the self-awareness that you needed to do something about it. And then the accountability of the fact that, I'm in this position now of no fault of anyone other than my own. So it's only myself that's going to get me out of it. And then that's when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
You've grown, and look where you are now.
Yeah.
Flying.
Yeah. Do something uncomfortable every year.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do.
Do you have anything in I know you said about a warm shower rather than a cold one, but I like to do a cold shower first thing in the morning because I just like to do that little bit of, that uncomfortable thing first thing in the morning. Because I feel like if you do something uncomfortable first thing in the morning, then the rest of the day just seems that little bit easier.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have? I mean, obviously going to the gym first thing in the morning is uncomfortable. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Is that your uncomfortable thing?
Yeah, I push myself quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm programmed. And a lot of people do say, I don't know how you push yourself as much doing it on your own, training on your own. But I won't call that uncomfortable, to be honest, because I enjoy it. I don't know. This is uncomfortable for me. This is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I did a motivational talk last September, October, I can't remember. That's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. But I want to do more of it.
Yeah. Where was that?
I think it might have been in Newcastle, wherever things are. Yeah, Newcastle. It was for Reach, Limb Difference Foundation.
Brilliant.
I've never done out like that before, but I just thought, just say yeah. And the buzz that I got from that after, it just went so amazing. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Was it your journey that you spoke about?
Yeah. So the audience were parents of children with limb difference.
Right.
And it was like a family event. So
Okay.
all children had gone to like an activity centre. And there were a lady there that she was pregnant and her baby was going to be born similar to me. So for them to be able to hear that journey, and I kind of might look. I mean, my mum didn't know that I was going to have one arm when I was born. So I imagine that come as quite of a shock. But for these people to be able to be prepared, just daft stuff like, can you tie your lace, or how do you cook your food, or... I went to an event recently, last Sunday, and I was going on my own. And I weren't bothered about walking in a pub I didn't know on my own. That didn't bother me. It would have at one time, but it didn't. I was thinking, I don't know anybody, I don't know what I'm going to eat. What if I can't cook my food up? So that made me a little bit anxious.
Yeah.
Like today, coming here, I thought, oh, please don't be warm, because I want to wear long sleeves. So of course it's warm, isn't it? And I just thought, no, okay, all over. I don't like arm, I don't like my arm.
Okay.
So when I see this back, I'm like, ooh. Because I've not seen me as a disability until I was 35. Which probably sounds ridiculous.
I understand though.
But I've just always put my hand behind my back. So if I look in a mirror, I don't do it anymore because I won't let myself. Because I can't preach to my ladies to say, you look at mirror and choose something positive and then not do it myself. But I didn't even, if you'd have asked me pre-35, said that I had a disability, I'd have gone, they haven't. I weren't brought up as a person with a disability. And, I mean, don't forget, because of my age, we didn't have phones. We took... cameras out, you had 24 goes.
Yeah.
At a camera. So you had to properly set yourself up for a photo. So I would always make sure I was stood in the middle so that my arm weren't in view. And then even when we come to digital camera, we used to digital camera, you were able to control things a lot more easily. So when I did a competition, CrossFit competition, I just didn't think about it. When photos come back, which they do as you compete, there's professional photographers and the photos come back and I felt like somebody had smashed me in the face.
Really?
Horrendous. I were devastated. I'm like, is that how I look? I was gutted. Because I've not seen myself like that. Even my wedding photos, they were all, I asked for them natural. I said, I can't do them natural because you've asked for your arm not to be in. So, yeah, I am still very much on that journey. So, in my head, I've only been disabled since 35. I'm 42 now, but I'm still at a point where I don't like it. I've accepted it, but I don't like it. And that's just me being honest, because I know that a lot of people with limb difference embrace it and love it, and I wish I can get there one day. But I also know there's another group of people that are similar to me, because we are different. We just are. But I have accepted it now, and acceptance has come with, so if I go on holiday and I wear a bikini, before I get really angry, and I get angrier and angrier, because there's a difference between looking and staring. I look at people who are different. Everybody does, because it's normal and natural. We're inquisitive beings, aren't we? But when people stare, it's rude.
Yeah.
And I almost taught myself to know how to look behind me.
Right.
So that, because I knew that they'd stared before I walked up, and then they put their head down as I walked past. But as soon as I'd get past them, they'd be staring. But it'd then mean I'd turn around and go, you okay? But I'd get angry and angrier. So I just got to stop, because it's ruining my time. So people still do that, but I just don't react now.
How do you think you managed to do that? And I asked that question because I'm reading a book at the minute called The Chimpire Paradox.
All right, yeah.
I don't know if you've read it.
Yeah.
And that is like the chimp part of your brain, and you've managed to manage the chimp part of your brain from reacting, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's the chimp in your brain is the emotional side of your brain that reacts to things rather than, articulating a way of dealing with that moment that happens.
Yeah.
When did that change for yourself then, to start dealing with things like that in a more positive way, I guess?
Yeah, I think probably just from reading, listening to TED Talks, podcasts, things like that. But one thing I teach my ladies, and that's through me doing my research on it, is action, pause, reaction. There's no pause. If there were a pause in life for a lot of people, things would change. We're very reactive. And that's our hour. Very reactive. But the only person that it was affecting was myself. But then I noticed that girls would be, oh, little, you okay, mummy? Why are they doing that to you? And then it was making them more aware that the mum was different. But it's just learning to pause and process that information. There's a lot of things that I still need to deal with. And it's going to be a long time, I know it is. But for now, it's very much that pause. And I think I've put that pause in as a habit. So it comes like switching a light switch on.
It's a great habit to have.
Yeah, it's not there all the time.
But don't you think that's the journey of life, though?
Yeah. Well, if you're not learning, you're not growing, are you?
Yeah. But like you've just said, you're still on this journey.
Yeah.
And it's not the destination, is it? It's the journey that counts.
Yeah. I still, like for me, I still feel, like when I go out with my friends, like art.
Big time.
Yeah, I still feel inferior. I still feel like that, and I hope that I get to a point that I don't feel like that. But I can't help how I feel. And it's not often, I wouldn't say it out loud to people that don't really know me, because I'd hate that. For people to think that I was saying that, for other people to go, oh no, because that's not why I say it, because that is exactly how I feel.
But think about, though, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the podcast, just think about how many people would look at you and think, wow, from the journey that you've been on and obviously the amount of followers that you've gained in the last few years from the inspirational things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like people, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, I'm saying this because I mean it, people would look at you and think, wow, like what a woman.
Yeah, and a lot of my ladies do say that, but I'd still rather have two hands. Thanks. That's
Yeah. That's just
I can't, that's how I feel, and I can't not feel like that at minute. Trying.
Do you ever think you'll get to a point where you think life's happening for you instead of to you in regards to having one hand?
What do you mean?
So I mean the example of, and it's obviously very, very different, but I was a victim to my own mindset when my brother died.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I said he's died and there's nothing I can do about it. I cannot control the fact that he's died.
Yeah.
What I can control is trying to help other people.
Yeah.
And I think you obviously do have that mindset because of all the amazing things that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the respect of life's happening for you instead of to you. Obviously, you would prefer to have two hands like you've just said, but would you be sat here right now if you didn't?
No, and I completely get that, and that's where I say I've accepted it. So I won't hide. I won't not do anything because of it. But I can't not see people's reactions either. Of
course, yeah, I understand that.
I can't not see that.
Yeah. Do you think as well, you said your disability didn't start until you're 35. What do you mean by that? Because
I weren't aware of it. And it only, like I said, the photos from the competition obviously showed it. And I also went to a physio to make sure I were okay doing what I were doing and that I weren't any detriment to my health and physical state, I suppose. And he said, I had no muscle tone at all on my left side. And that's because that was my posture.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
So like, is you in like protective mode?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that because when I looked in the mirror, I went like that. So I've never seen it. I know it sounds really strange and really weird, but that's just how it's been.
Do you think so talk to me more about the journey with your social media then, because again, I was looking through your Instagram yesterday, and is it 110,000?
I don't know.
Something.
I don't check.
I know you said earlier it doesn't mean anything to you, but the point I'm getting to is that you've obviously started at some point in the last 8 years. You've started posting on Instagram, and because of the inspirational things that you're doing and the message that you've got, you've obviously amounted this incredible following, which is phenomenal. Do you think it's obviously because you're posting so much and you're very raw in everything that you post?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the feedback that I do get is the honesty.
Yeah.
And the trust side of things. You know, I said to you downstairs that I'm not a great influencer, as in, if I don't believe in something, I absolutely won't promote it. I can't, because it just goes against everything I believe in.
Yeah.
It goes against all my values, all my morals. Should I push more? Probably. Should I get somebody to help me with my Instagram? Absolutely. But I don't know, I wouldn't even know where to start.
But are you happy though?
Yeah.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, to be fair, again, I think whatever you're doing it really, really, really well. Because again, I was looking through the comments, and you know, one video you had like 5 million views, and you know, that doesn't happen unless you're doing something incredible. And you're obviously helping a lot of people with the message that you're portraying and everything that you're doing. So
yeah, and obviously the strap that I've produced as well, that's helped so many people, and I love that.
Yeah,
I love to see them use it, because for me that were a massive struggle, as I said right at the beginning, and they don't have to have that struggle now.
No.
So
when did you start with that venture?
2 years ago. Worked with a company in America, Chimpire Paradox.
Brilliant.
So yeah, we've got a lifting strap, but it's padded, because your skin here it's not like on your hand. It becomes really sore.
Right.
So I wanted it nice and soft, but still strong. So yeah, sell that around the world.
Brilliant.
And it's just so good to see other adaptives being able to get in gym and, you know, smash all their goals that they want to just from this little strap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what other ventures have we got going on at the minute then? So you're obviously, you're doing your coaching. You've been at a boot camp at 7:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Talk to me about everything that you've got going on at the minute.
Yeah, so I'm a coach, and I say I'm a coach rather than a PT because I do life coaching as well.
Right.
It's just all as one.
Yeah.
So I do that on a one-to-one basis, group work, boot camp, online. And I just adore that. I absolutely love it. And it's good. I love to see people change. And then I work for a local authority.
Barnsley Council.
Yeah. I'm a careers advisor for vulnerable young people.
Oh, amazing.
So I do that. What else do I do? Oh, just, I don't kind of do it yet, but become really interested in neuroscience and polyvagal theory and things like that. So it's from working with certain people in my coaching, and we're hopefully going to look to create a business and go into schools and provisions to look at human performance and development and hopefully teach other people that. So that's in the very early stages, but I'm so passionate about it because upstairs is what creates everything. If you ain't got that, you know anything.
Yeah. We spoke about it earlier, didn't we, Mr. Dr. Andrew Huberman, and the podcast he does about neuroscience, and we're saying how fascinating it is, and just from watching his podcast alone, I've implemented so many things that he talks about. And we said as well that it's all based on science, like it's scientific studies that have shown significant positive improvements to your mental health. For example, cold water therapy.
Yes.
And many other things. So I find that fascinating that that's something that you're pursuing.
Yeah, hopefully that is the next. And I want to do more motivational speaking. It is something that I am really nervous about. I've been asked to do one September time, I think. And the answer is very much, do you do motivational speaking? Well, I don't, but I'll have a go. You know, I need to get better at that, as in, just get yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know that I can help other people, and I know that where I'm at the minute, I'm not helping enough, and I want that stone filled.
I think public speaking is the number one fear for most people, isn't it? But you said earlier that the feeling that you have after you've done it.
Yeah.
I have that
I
same.
wouldn't speak at all.
Yeah.
So when I first started CrossFit, a guy called Sean, and he also said, just chat to camera. I'm like, you've no chance. I am not doing it. And that weren't that long ago.
Yeah.
So I just make myself do stuff now because I know that although I might be scared, I know that afterwards I'll think, so God did that. Same with the Nike thing that I did. That day changed my life. After that, that's when I started doing my coaching training. Because I thought if Nike believed in me, then I need to start believing in myself.
Definitely.
And then I've done all sorts. I mean, whilst I'm doing it, I think, oh my God, why am I here doing this? You know, like almost looking over my shoulder. But I just make myself do it. Because what's alternative back to where I was? And I can't do it.
If you could go back to 34-year-old Lou, what would you say?
Become your own best scientist. Know your values. Know who your people are. And that growth is on the other side of fear.
I love that.
I think that's what I'd say.
I think you're one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.